he's not me.
Yeah.
You know, as much as a lot of people, you know, say we have similarities and, you know, we switch a lot and we fight a lot. He's not me, you know, and I'm not him. So,
you know, I'm gonna make all those doubters at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, they all gonna cry when they get home. You know, and I meant that. I meant that. You know.
Terence Crawford sent a cold warning to Canelo Alvarez after watching him spar with Jaron "Boots" Ennis, making it clear their styles are not the same. However, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre expressed full confidence in Crawford's preparation, saying they plan to dominate despite the challenge.
We're gonna beat this motherfucker's ass, dog. It ain't no cakewalk. We're gonna beat his ass, so I promise you that.
And what's your message to the naysayers that Terence is too small?
Watch and see. I ain't steered you wrong yet. Man, I ain't in the business to start now. Fuck that shit. I try to tell them about Spence.
Moreover, Andre Ward said he would pick Crawford over Canelo, explaining no one has broken Crawford's will yet.
What would happen if Canelo fought Terence Crawford? I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can beat him.
However, Terence Crawford dismissed comparisons with Jaron "Boots" Ennis, saying they are different fighters. He noted that Ennis is still rising while he is at a higher level in his career.
He's not me.
Yeah.
You know, as much as a lot of people, you know, say we have similarities and, you know, we switch a lot and we fight a lot. He's not me, you know, and I'm not him. So,
yeah. Tim had said comparison that like he's like a Chrysler 300 and you're like a Bentley.
Yeah, like once again, like he's not me. You know, he's trying to get to where I'm at. You know, he's where he at. I'm where I'm at. You know, he got a long way to go.
Moreover, Crawford vowed to silence doubters and prove his size is no issue. He said people will make excuses after his win and promised to celebrate with another parade.
You know, I'm gonna make all those doubters at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, they all gonna cry when they get home. You know, and I meant that. I meant that. You know, everybody's talking about the size and, you know, me being a smaller fighter. But if you look on the stage, I've been sparring these big dudes my whole career. Like, how I'm gonna take a punch? They punch me every time we spar. So, you know, it's okay. You know, once we get in the ring and they see something different, like each and every time, there's gonna be another excuse why, the reason why Terence won and this and that and that is, but I can assure you I'm gonna be victorious, and after that we're gonna have another parade.
Furthermore, Simon Jordan sided with Crawford, citing his skill and confidence as key factors. He recalled Canelo's struggles at light heavyweight as proof size does not guarantee victory.
I went straight away with Crawford, and so did Spence. I mean, other people that we've spoken to, I think Paul Smith and other people that sit on the show with us think it will be Canelo Alvarez because of size. We've seen Canelo Alvarez take that journey up to light heavy and find himself coming up against Dimitri Bivol and not being able to do what he does at super middleweight. I just think that Crawford is such a fighter of such stature and competence that he might just be the kryptonite to Saul Alvarez.
Aid Oladipo leaned toward Crawford, citing Canelo's wear and tear over a long career. He noted Crawford is unbeaten, fresher, and very confident despite Canelo's edge and experience.
As it stands right now, I'm leaning to Terence Crawford just because I do think there's so much wear and tear in Canelo. This is a guy that's been doing it since, what year did he turn pro? 2005. 2005, 20 years, guys. 20 years of fights, 20 years of sparring, of injuries, fight camps. Jeez. But he's got big fight experience that has to count for something. He has size that has to count for something. He's been in there with by far the better opposition. That has to count for something. Like, all of that must mean something on fight night. Crawford's unbeaten. That's the only counter I can give. Crawford's unbeaten. Crawford's the better boxer. Crawford's unbeaten. Crawford's the better boxer. Crawford's the fresher of the two, and he just seems to have this air of just confidence around him. This is such a good fight. Such a good fight.
Eddie Hearn called the fight fascinating due to both fighters' high ring IQs. He questioned how the weight jump would affect Crawford, who looked small at 154 pounds.
I think it's a great fight. I mean, it's two guys that are coming towards the back end of their careers, but two legends, pound for pound legends of the sport. A fascinating fight between two guys with tremendous ring IQ. I guess the big conversation is how the weight will affect Bud and how he will respond to the size. We got a situation where in Los Angeles, Crawford didn't look that big against the 154. In fact, I thought Madrimov looked the bigger, the stronger guy in that fight. I thought it was a very, very close fight, that fight. Now you're going up 2 divisions at 168 for Canelo Alvarez, who is, a pound for pound legend of the sport. Against Skull, he didn't look great. The movement didn't look great. I didn't think his legs looked fantastic.
Hearn said Crawford must fight smart and elusive to succeed at 168. While praising his IQ, he slightly leaned toward Crawford, though Canelo remains the favorite.
And I think if Terence Crawford decides to box elusively in this fight, I think he's going to really have success. When he gets hit, that's really the $1 million question. How can he hang at 168? When you spend time with both of them, they're both so confident, you actually can't see him losing. Bud talks a brilliant game, and he's walked the walk continuously. And he has probably the best boxing IQ in the game. I probably, and Canelo's my guy, but I probably lean slightly to Crawford in this fight, which me and you debated over a coffee downstairs. I know that I think you maybe go the other way, but I think Canelo will be a favourite going in, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if Crawford could do it.
Amir Khan said Canelo is easier to hit but powerful and strong. He added Crawford looks big and sharp at 180 pounds and leaned slightly toward him as the fresher fighter.
I'm the only guy to share the ring with both guys, and I always said, look, both fighters are great. They're both great at what they do. I thought Canelo, he was easier to hit. He had slow feet, but fast hands. I never expected him to have the fast hands he had. And obviously, he has a lot of power. So that's one thing Crawford has to worry about, the size and the power. But then again, I saw a picture of Crawford where he was weighing around about 180 pounds, looked strong, looked big. And I think he holds the weight well. And he's another fighter that's very strong, very powerful. So, you know what? I do lean more towards Crawford in this fight because he's the more fresher fighter. He's not been in too many wars like Canelo's been in. But look, like I said, this is a top level boxing. So I don't know who's gonna win. But like I said, I do lean more towards Crawford.
Andy Ruiz said the fight is unpredictable due to Crawford's first time at 168. He warned Canelo could win by knockout, while Crawford's best chance is to move and make it awkward.
I don't know, it might be hard for Crawford since it's going to be his first time fighting at 168, right? At 168. Right. We don't know how he's going to move. I don't know if he's going to be that fast. I don't know if he's going to be able to handle his pressure, because Canelo's really good at pressuring, coming forward, slipping, countering. But, nobody believed in me when I was going to fight Anthony Joshua that I was going to win. So anything could happen, especially in this sport of boxing.
So you think he wins by points or KO?
Canelo? Yeah. It's crazy because he could win by a knockout, and Crawford could probably win by moving around and making the fight a little difficult for Canelo. But like I said, anything could happen.
Joel Diaz predicted Crawford will lose, but not by knockout. He said Canelo's proven chin and power will eventually turn the fight in his favor.
He's going to walk away with a loss. He's not going to get knocked out, I guarantee you, because he's smart. He's gonna survive the fight because he's really smart. He's going to give Canelo a little bit of trouble in the first round, but then once Canelo feels that he can't get hurt, come on. Canelo's been hit by the heaviest hitter in boxing, Triple G, and never got hurt. He got hit by the ball, never got hurt. A 175 pounder.